Hello, subscribers. Welcome to a live stream. I'm doing something a little bit different tonight. So instead of playing a game, I'm actually going to give a status update and just run through a bunch of things on Fortaeverse, the game I'm working on, and some of the things I've been doing recently, just so you can see. So I have my server up and running. Let me go ahead and log in here. I think what I'll do right now is just continue a party that I created that just has two characters. Okay, so we have Bubba, a warrior, and he is an ogre. And for those that haven't seen this screen, this is the main inventory screen and status updates and those kinds of things. So it shows the vocation, it shows he's level 1. This is a button you can click if you want to change his class. You can change your vocation class once per level that you level up. So once you lock into that vocation, you won't be able to change it until you get enough experience to level up again. I've shown this before in an update, but I'm just talking about these things so that if more and more people come in, they'll be able to see the updates I've done in maybe 5 or 10 minutes or so. Hey there, Percy. Welcome to the stream. You're doing pretty well? Glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And there's Keith. Hey Keith, how you doing today? Welcome. So yeah, this is the screen where you can change vocation. And as you can see, this ogre is not very qualified to change to many of these. It looks like he's missing something on all the attributes for every single class. But anyway, I've shown that before. I'm not going to actually change his class there. Let me go back in here. So a recent change I did make was when you're looking at attributes or any other value, it will show a yellow color if the current value does not match your maximum. So his dexterity is now 56 out of 60. And that's going to be because of the armor he has equipped. Most likely that's what's causing that. And then you can see he's injured a little bit. His physical health is down below his max. And you can see his hydration, nutrition, and sustenance is below max. So this just, I made it yellow like that just so you can quickly at a glance see if anything is not at maximum values. Oh yeah, I'm glad you're here, Keith. Yeah, just kind of walk through everything, and then I'm going to talk about the updates that I've done too. So yeah, you can see his age. He started at 18, and now, because of how long I've been running on the server, it has gone up a very, very small amount. The aging process will be real time times 2. So if the server runs for a day and you haven't logged in for a day, he's going to age 2 days still. For some races that doesn't mean anything because they can live to be old, but other races age can be a big deal. And of course there's special spells and abilities that can artificially age someone much, much faster than the real time. But let's take a look next. Let's see. Here's the items view. So I had made quite a few changes to this a while back. This game is very, very complicated behind the scenes with all the different things that can happen. Trying to make the user interface fairly intuitive, though, at least with the actions you can perform, so that you don't experience the overcomplicated nature. But this screen will kind of demonstrate some of the different factors and values that are in the game. Here we can see the weight of this longsword that's made out of bronze is 6.4 pounds, and it has 6,108 structure points. The hardness value is 45. So the way that works in Fortaeverse is harder substances like weapons can penetrate and do more damage to softer substances that are armor. So if someone's wearing, let's say, for example, a steel breastplate and you hit it with this bronze longsword, the bronze longsword structure point damage is going to be much greater than what it normally would be if you're bronze hitting bronze. So let's say you do, well, right here it says this longsword can do 15 to 60 damage piercing or 5 to 50 cutting. So let's say you're really skilled with your sword skill and the person you're hitting has low dodge, so you do 50 damage, max damage. The structure point damage to this longsword may end up being like 200 if you hit some steel. So some of the damage may make through, but some may not. So that's what the hardness factor is all about. Here you can see like leather, it has a hardness of 5. So basically when a weapon hits it, the weapon's not going to get damaged at all. You know, basically it'll go through it. But there's all kinds of different types of damages. And what I've done here is I'm kind of alternating the colors. And this whole user interface, you know, is all up for changes in the future. You know, the whole layout, everything may change. But this is just what I have right now. Because the majority of the code is on the server that executes. The user interface is just kind of placed on top of it. So it could have a total different makeover later, and it doesn't matter. Because the core behind the scenes in the server is what's important. So anyway, you can see like it can absorb some crush. It doesn't quite absorb as much cutting damage. And then it really doesn't absorb as much piercing damage. And then you can see it can absorb a little bit of acid, a little base, chemical, caustic, etc. It actually does pretty good against frost damage and freezing damage and a decent amount against electric. So each armor piece can have different, you know, properties like that, and I've talked about that before. Food and water. So you do have sustenance you have to worry about, but it's going to be automatic. As long as you have the items in your inventory, basically what's going to happen is the game will find the food or drink that you have that will spoil first. Some things don't spoil for a long time, and then other things may spoil earlier, like meat, cooked meat, for example. So your characters will automatically consume the water, whatever liquids you have in food. So you don't have to do that. You just have to make sure you have some in your inventory somewhere. If you don't, it's not like you're going to die once your food disappears, but you'll start to notice some things possibly happening, like you may not heal properly. Maybe some of the attributes might start going down, or you may catch a disease or get sick. But it'll happen over time, so it's not like it's immediate, like in some games. Okay, and then here on this view, we have all of our skills, and you can see that they are actually decimal values. So as you use skills, they will increase based on your vocation. Oh, here, Percy had a question. It says, can an item's hardness change? Does it have a maximum value, and can that change? Yes, normally items will not change the hardness unless let's say you're a weaponsmith. You can reinforce certain things to maybe enhance them and make them harder, or you could cast spells on them or find magical versions where the hardness can increase and decrease. There's also spells that can decrease hardness. So like there's armor melting type spells that you could cast that will reduce hardness of, let's say, an enemy you're fighting. Let's say they're made out of hardened steel, and you cast that on them. Then their hardened steel armor may turn more like leather, and then your sword will go, you know, right through it or do a lot more damage to it. So yes, it can definitely change. The structure points for sure will change too. The cool thing is, I'm not going to make like expensive or magical weapons be affected by structure points that much, because I did not want people to get annoyed that they have to worry about repairing, you know, this nice magic item they have. So there's quite a few items in the game that have basically an infinite number of structure points and can't be damaged. So you don't have to worry about like Excalibur, for example, breaking or shattering. The other thing is if the structure points go down to 0 on something, it will not disappear from your inventory. It'll just be broken where you can't use it, but potentially it can be repaired. Whether you want to have a craftsman in your party do it, or if you want to pay someone to do it, it'd be up to you. But yes, all that is taken into effect. Keith says, does increasing age affect attributes? Very good question, Keith. And yes, it does. I have thresholds. So each race has a max age set on it. And so if you get within 50% of max age, you will start to see a very slight decline in certain attributes. Not all of them, but certain ones. And then in the next tier, and I don't know the exact tiers I said, but in the next tier, let's say 50 to 75%, it'll be a bigger drop in certain attributes. And then eventually, once you reach max age, you don't necessarily instantly die, but each minute that passes, there's a chance you will die. You're just going to die from old age. The cool thing is, though, you can actually bring them back. You can raise them from the dead, and they will be alive again until that random chance hits again, and then they'll just keel over. So you can exceed max age, and keep resurrecting them if you're that powerful to have those spells, but then they may die again. So it's kind of funny. And in fact, there's one spell that I don't have an anti-aging spell because I love how Darklands did aging where you actually end up retiring certain characters, and I didn't want to make it where you could reverse age. But there is a spell, and I don't remember which caster type has it, but it can halt the aging effect so that you won't have those attributes drop even though you're above max age. And yeah, there's all kinds of little loopholes I'm putting in the game where certain vocations or spells or skills may give an advantage in certain situations, and there's just all kinds of situations. Percy says, I'm just curious if a player can understand an item's hardness value relative to the general condition. I presume if an item has a low value, it's in poor condition and is liable to break. Okay. So hardness is different than structure points. So structure points are basically the hit points on the weapon. So yes, if you see this go to 0, that's when it's going to break. So as you're using this throughout the game, you're going to see this keep going down, 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 down. Unless you repair it. Or if the hardness is high, let's say you have a diamond longsword. The hardness is going to be so high that you will probably never see the structure points go down. Because everything you're going to be hitting is going to be softer than your diamond longsword. So you don't even have to worry about it. But if you have something like this that's bronze, that hardness is lower. I think steel is 110. And I'll have a chart showing hardnesses of all the materials. But let's say this is 45 and hardened steel is 110. Then it's essentially a linear progression on the hardness versus the materials. So you look at this and then you see steel's 110. You're like, oh man, if I hit that knight in his metal armor, yeah, my sword's going to take a decent amount of damage. And you'll see this going down faster. But yeah, you can keep an eye on it and see when it's getting, more depleted. Keith says, very cool. I like the way you are implementing age. Okay, cool. Hey, Michael and Gabriel, welcome to the stream. How you guys doing? Michael says, tonight's movie, Undead Retirement Community. Yes. Undead can have just extremely high ages, though. They don't have to worry about it. Yeah, okay. Glad you got it, Percy. Gabriel says, oh, dang, Ninja Gaiden 3 is more complex. Okay, so let's go back here. So yeah. Anyway, vocations will have a limit on what they can level certain skills up to. So let's see, he's a warrior. So warriors can learn all kinds of different weapon and armor skills, but they do have limits. Trying to think of an example. So like casters, they can almost all casters can use let's say knife weapons, but it maxes out at 40. Whereas a warrior can have a knife weapon up to 150 or 200. And the higher the skill level, the more likely you're going to hit peak damage on your weapon when you attack, the more likely you're actually going to hit. Even when someone has good dodge or it's fast, you're more likely to hit. So while mages can use any kind of weapon, their chance of doing good damage compared to a warrior is much, much lower. So that's why these are decimals, and that's why they can go up, by fractional amounts as you train with them. And you'll be able to see that. Right now, I feel like just showing one decimal place. So that's probably what I'm going to continue to do. Gabriel says, how about weapons with low hardness yet high damage? Like Geralt from The Witcher, who has a silver sword just for monsters. Okay, good question. So if a weapon has low hardness and high damage, as long as what you're hitting does not have high hardness, then it's going to do high damage as long as you're skilled with it. Skill is a big factor with this. So like if you pick up a sword that can do massive amounts of damage, but you have no sword skill, you're most likely going to not do much damage with it. Unless the weapon is set from like 50 to 100 damage. Like if the minimum on it is 50, then that's the minimum. If you happen to hit with it, you're going to get 50, even if your skill sucks. Every time you hit, you're going to get 50. Now, if you hit something that's made out of heavy metal and you do 50 damage, the hardness is basically going to reduce it proportionally to the hardness of what your weapon is. Then, on top of that, the damage done to the armor versus the weapon's structure points is affected by the hardness. So you'll still get a decent amount of damage through with that softer weapon, but it will get reduced by a pretty significant amount, and you'll probably be damaging it at the same time. And you won't be damaging their armor. Percy says, so take the leather buskins. I assume 700 is the maximum, indicating prime condition. Yes, that's true. I assume 400/700 would mean fairly worn, and 100 under meaning in tatters. Yes. Now, until the structure points reach 0, the armor will have full absorption. You will witness no effect. Then all of a sudden, once it gets to 0, it will be useless. It will break, and you will have no benefit from it. So it's not like you're slowly deteriorating. It will have full effect until it does reach 0. So Gabriel says, I mean more like, well, these kinds of weapons exist in the game. Absolutely, yes. And a lot of these weapons are randomly generated combinations. Think Might and Magic 4. Might and Magic 4, you can have all these different effects and material types, and they can merge. I will have randomized ones like that, but I'm also going to handcraft some. So I'm going to handcraft specialty items. I'm taking a lot from mythology. I'm actually introducing cameo items from other games, or at least references to other games. So there's going to be more items in this game than it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow away any other game you've ever seen with the number of items that you're going to be able to find. And like so far, when I randomly generate just combinations of different things I get over 1 million combinations. And that's just the randomized. So it's just going to be really, really fun and all kinds of different things. Okay, so let's go to, I already showed that view. Let's do spells. He has no spells. Conditions. If you had conditions, it would show up here. Okay, now here's the resistances tab. So Unlike games that just have, like, let's say fire resistance, water resistance, earth resistance, like the, elemental realms, I've done this based on what I feel like is logical and kind of physics oriented. Even though there's magic, that does have its own whole realm here. There's a few roots at the top of the resistances. You have energy, which is like physics related. Then you can get down here to magical, which is non-physics. And as you can see underneath magical, there's different types. There's magical afflictions, like curses, device malfunction, hexes, mana force on you or on an enemy. There's spiritual, which is separate from magic and physical. I don't want to say physical. I want to say energy. So a spiritual is an example is death resistance, or resistance to level drains that maybe some enemies may do, or possession. But almost all resistances will fall underneath real physics oriented things. So under energy, like we have electrical, and then we can even have specific types of electrical, like lightning. And I don't have this list exhausted, but I feel like this is a very, very good list to start with. Here's mental type resistances. And then underneath there, you can see there's all kinds of afflictions and things. So basically the way this works is certain races will have native resistances. Like ogres, for example, have a 30% unconsciousness resistance. It's hard to knock them out. So what that means is coma and sleep is automatically at 30% also, because those are underneath it in the hierarchy. So if someone was, let's say, 50% energy resistant, then every single thing under here would be 50%. So this is why I make the real one colored orange, and then anything below it will be colored yellow. Just so at a quick glance we can see this is the only special resistance that this ogre has. Now as you equip things and have spells on you, I will have these update so you can see. I haven't implemented that yet, but right now we're just seeing the native race, the ogre. Gabriel says, that's cool. This is something I don't like about franchises like the Elder Scrolls, in which there's a linear progression with materials, and there's no reason not to upgrade. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you can have... I'll give you an example. I generated a monster to fight once, and he had a tin mace. So just picture a mace made out of tin, but it was like flaming. So it had fire and flaming capabilities where it could actually damage an enemy, but it's kind of brittle because it's made out of tin. So it can be a fairly expensive item because of its special effect, but you got to kind of be careful with when you use that. You're not going to be wanting to slam it into, some really hard metal and start damaging it all the time. But it would be great to use against something that had flesh, maybe just hidden ghouls, batting them around and stuff. So, you will want to have some strategy with what kinds of things you want to do. And the way I've made my engine, basically what I can do is when I create monsters, I will tell the engine what range of expenses, or it's a bad way to word it, what value ranges of items it'll have. Like I could say, if you kill this thing, you're going to find 5,000 to 10,000 copper pieces worth of items. And I can say, 80% of the time it's going to be potions, or it's going to be, just standard weapons that aren't magical. Or I could say, this is going to be magical items, and here's the types. So I can completely control what kinds of things get generated, or even if I want to put like a handcrafted item on something. So certain types of enemies you fight will be more likely to have maybe something you're looking for or hunting for. Like if you're fighting knights, obviously you're going to be fighting somebody that has better armor, they're going to have maybe pole arms or swords, those types of things. Whereas if you're fighting mages, you're probably going to be finding staves and maybe magical scrolls and those types of things. Oh, the video says I'm streaming the Bard's Tale. Yeah, that's not right. Oh, it does say that. Thanks for telling me. Okay. So we're going to be live streaming Fortaeverse status updates. There we go. Thanks, Gabriel. That's funny. Percy says, what's malevolence? Okay. No. Oh, let me look that up, because I'm pretty sure there's malevolence and then there's benevolence, and they're different things. Benevolence. I'm sure I spelled it right. Where is it? What do I have over here? Benevolence. Let me make sure I the right word. Yeah, I did spell it wrong. You're right, Percy. Yeah, ill will, malice, or hatred. That's what I'm trying to spell there. Yeah, so it should be malevolence. You're right. Absolutely. Yeah, and it's under mental. It's a mental affliction. Thanks for pointing that out, Percy. Hey, EW Badger, welcome to the stream. How you doing? He says, did you get any inspiration for the complexities of your game from Dwarf Fortress? I've been playing it recently, and your game reminds me of... No, I have never played that. In fact, first time I even heard of it was watching Saztam play it on his channel. Yeah. Gabriel says, man, this would be the first time I've heard benevolence. Yeah, it's malevolent. Like Percy said, oh, that's funny. Benevolent is the opposite of malevolent. Keith says, not sure if that's what you're after. No, I just spelled it wrong. So what kind of status ailment is this? It makes you act like aggressive. So that is basically, you will turn on, whoever is malevolent will turn on their own party. And they have such hatred for them, and they'll just attack them. And yeah, so that's what it is. It's kind of like being possessed, but it's not because of a spiritual thing. It's because of a mental thing. So like if we come down here, there is a spiritual possession, which is a totally different resistance, and it has the same end result where you would attack your own party. And this would do the same thing. It's just, this is a mental resistance, not spiritual resistance. Michael says, new spell idea, malevolence. You pelt your enemy with showers of mana from... Yeah. Oh, it's funny. And then EW Badger says there's also malevolent, which is a chemistry term. Yeah, that I don't know. Okay, so that's the resistances. Let me think. I showed that. Oh, and then some races or special life forms will have innate abilities. Like Drakens can breathe acid. Trolls can regenerate. Vampires can, well, let me pick on Wraiths. Wraiths can level drain, that kind of thing. Let me see if there's anything else to show you. Just here's another example of a character I have. You can see his agility's low by quite a bit, 67 out of 80. And that's going to be because of the heavy armor he's wearing. And he doesn't have the appropriate skill that he should have. So let's see, what is he wearing? Yeah, he's wearing brassards, greaves that are made out of steel. And here you can see steel is a hardness of 130. And that's not even hardened steel. I think hardened steel is 180 maybe. And I actually did research and figured out these hardness based on test results that engineers have come up with. Like there's industry standards. So every material I put in a game that's not magical has world accurate hardness relative to each other. Okay, let's see what else. That's all that stuff. So let me show you some things that I've added recently. So the system button here, I'm just for now dumping in a bunch of different functions that I'm going to have. Normally the user can go into settings and like you may have friend settings where you're going to add a friend. You can allow friends to control certain members of your party. So like let's say you wanted to play with 3 other friends online and you want to do co-op play within the same party. I could say, hey, I want Percy to control Dirk the Knight. I want Keith to control Bubba the Warrior. And I want Gabriel to control movement. I want him to do this and be able to walk around. So you can, through the system settings there, you can put, let me see if I can just put a name in quick to show you. Let's add a friend. I mean, this is me. I don't know if it's going to let me add myself. Yeah, I don't think it will. No. Okay. Maybe I can do it here. Here we go. Let's see. Default action maintenance. No, I don't have that programmed yet. Oh, anyway, I'll just try to describe that. So it's very granular. So you'll be able to control what they can, like you could even say, I don't want them to control anything. I just want them to be able to observe as I play. And so they log in with their own account. They'll see everything that you're doing and they'll get all the messages, they'll get all the graphics, all the sound, everything, kind of just observing it. But that's what's under the system menu. Here, for example, you can have auto skill use, which is enabled by default on things so that you don't have to manually use certain skills. Like let's say you're an alchemist and they have potion mixing ability or creation of potions. By default, it'll be on where the computer will just do it in the background for you. And it'll just do it over time. And if you're sitting still, what you'll see is all of a sudden a bar will appear here and you'll just start crafting potions while you're sitting there. So you can go in and turn that off so if you can manually control it. This I'm really excited about. This enable computer assay hostility. I'm trying to think of how to explain this. So the computer, is controlling all these different life forms just in the universe. And they're always looking for danger, like enemies that are within their vision or hearing or whatever. So if they spot you, and let's say you're an enemy to them, they might attack you or they might run or whatever. They'll figure out what action they want to do based on this. Well, you can do that with your characters too. You can pick either individual characters or you can do it for your whole party and let the computer take over basically like I do for the computer players. So let's say you don't want to maintain anything with Bubba the Warrior. You just want the computer to do it for you. So if we enable this, then he's going to act just like a computer player and it'll be under control of the computer. It'll assay things, find hostilities, and he may even just run off on his own and start attacking something that's nearby. Or he may decide he's afraid of whatever he saw and he runs off on his own, leaving you, the rest of your characters standing in the same place. So that's going to be a lot of fun for people to play around with. You can split parties and make them, control them individually. So I could log out the party over here, but then only control 1 or 2 characters in this party here. You could have them rendezvous. There's all kinds of different things you can do with that. Kind of like how Magic Candle did it. Let me check chat here again real quick. See, Gabriel says, and it causes you to gain less experience after battle because allies will ask, man, did you really mean those things you said during battle? No, is malevolent. Yeah, let's see what he's wearing. Steel greaves, steel bracers, corn. Yeah, he started with corn. You've chosen poorly by giving me control over the movements of this party, Gabriel says. Oh, it's funny. Okay. So there's some actions that are on the main menu here that work for the whole party. It causes the whole party to do it. Like if I hit search here, you see both of these guys started searching. And this is the action thing I was telling you about. This is how you can tell what each character's doing. You'll also notice this box became much larger, the mini map. That's because I'm searching, so I'm looking around and we've just increased the view of the mini map. Now if I hit stop, it goes back to the default because we're not searching anymore and you can see their actions went away. So these are for the whole party, but you can do it for individual party members. So I'm going to have Bubba start searching. See, now Dirk's over here. He could do something else. If I wanted him to craft something, let's say he's a craftsman, then we could maybe use a skill here. Evidently, as a knight, he doesn't have any usable skills. But you click that button and then have him do something while Bubba's, over here searching. So very controllable at granular levels or the party levels. So let me go ahead and hit stop here again. Let's see. Here's the attack button. Now I have all kinds of different monsters sitting here just for me to play around with. If you see, I hover over here on the mini map. And I have all kinds of necromancers, thaumaturgists, shamans, psionics. I just put them all over there. So when I told Bubba to attack, it shows the list of all of those guys so that you can just simply click something. And the other thing you'll notice is, since I selected something on the mini map, it puts priority and puts those to the top of the list so I can see selected next to the ones that I've picked. And then I could choose a particular one. Like let's say I want to swing my longsword at this, then I'd pick that one. But then down here, these are things that I have not selected on the mini map. So if, for example, you don't want to do that, then you could just do this. I also loved what the Bard's Tale Trilogy did, where as you can type, it filters the menus. So I did that same thing. I'm going to try to do this. I haven't done it in a while, but I'm going to start typing merchant. And look what happened. As I started to type merchant, up here it put MER, and it filtered the list down to only show me the merchants. So then I could say, boom, I want to attack that one. So just trying to make the user interface a lot friendlier so that you can do things quickly once you get used to it and everything. Yeah, so anyway, that's that. I made the mini-map recently. When you click on something, it will show you the graphic of that position. So that's the bank. I'll click up here. This is Sasha's Potion Factory. It also works on life forms. If there's a particular picture for a life form where you click, it will show that. These are just this is just like a generic picture when I don't have a specific one for that. That's what that is. He says, I really like the way you're able to split party actions. Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And you can split the parties too then. Like you could send one off and say, using one of these commands, say, okay, go start traveling west. You log out, not worry about that party. You come back 8 hours later, and maybe they've traveled 20 miles, and they're at the next town or whatever. And that's one of the things I talked about before too. Is the way you do that is you do a virtual logout. So if you do a virtual logout, they're still on the server. It's just you as a player break away from the game and you can close your browser. And the characters will remain doing their actions, whatever you told them to do, as though you're logged in, even though you're not. So, like, let's say you're getting ready to go to work and you have a half-hour drive to work. You could say, oh, I'm going to do some mining. Have a miner start mining and do your virtual logout. By the time you get to work, maybe 30 minutes have passed and maybe you found some gold or something. I don't know. So I'm just trying to make it where if people want to play it on a mobile device, they can. That's why it's all HTML. Now, if you don't want that and you want them to be safe where they can't get attacked or anything happen while you're, not logged in, you do a safe logout. So that can apply to those actions. So anyway, here's some of the things I've added recently for me to control as kind of like a dungeon master. So I've added add life form and I've added cause condition. So let me show you cause condition first. So like once the game goes live, I'm going to be like the dungeon master in that cartoon, the dungeon, what was it, Dungeons and Dragons? Where I'll just go around as people are playing and I'll tweak the world and manually do things. So this is one of the things that's going to allow me to set conditions on either monsters or party members. So I'm going to do this on my own party. I'm going to do it for Bubba. I'm going to poison him, and I'm going to make it last 60 seconds based on if he had terrible constitution, it'd be 60 seconds. And I'm going to do 0.5 strength. That's how much damage he'll take per round. So now what you're going to witness is Bubba's going to get poisoned here. You can see there's his condition. And every 5 seconds, you're going to see that little red flash to show you he's taking circulatory system damage. And you can see his numbers going down there. It's at 88, 87. So, and now the poison just wore off. You can see down here. He's no longer poisoned. And it tells you here he was taking 0.5 damage per second. So, I can do bonuses, like benefits type conditions, like a bless. Say I want to just suddenly bless Dirk. Let's do Dirk. Condition, blessed, 60 seconds, strength 1. And see, now he has that little angel icon there. He's blessed. So I'll have a little bonus for a while. Gabriel says, can we expect glorious enemy alliances such as werewolves, sorcerers, and volleyball players? I don't know about volleyball players, but yeah, there'll be some eclectic enemy groups. Gabriel says, well, I'm glad you're a decent guy, because this would be disastrous in the hands of a jerk dungeon master. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I can do any kind of conditions. I can cure conditions, but basically what I'm going to do is over time, I'm going to introduce things that's going to allow me to test one thing, so that when you guys start playing or doing more testing for me, I can insert things into the system dynamically on the fly, and then we can see what happens. Like here, let me possess Bubba. So what I'm going to do, say Daryl, Bubba, possessed. Let's let 60 seconds, strength 1. So now watch what will happen. I'll just let the engine run it. So he just did 44 damage to Dirk. He's attacking the other guy in our party. Eventually this is going to wear off. See, he's not doing any damage because of the armor that Dirk had. A couple times he got a pretty good amount of damage through. He hit the thorax, which probably is not protected at all. And then he hit the head, which he probably doesn't have the best helmet. So his possession wore off. Now he stopped. So yeah, let's take a look. I'm kind of curious what he has on his head. Yeah, he has a steel helmet. That's interesting. Is it broken? Oh, I wonder if he doesn't even have it equipped. It's equipped. Unequip, unequip. Steel greaves are not equipped. Oh, it's because he has brassards? Where's his helmet? I think his helmet's broken because he can't equip it. Anyway, I'll have to look at that to see, but when you go into the equip menu like this is where you can get a kind of a quick view of the structure points on what you're equipping and what it does. In case you have a whole list of things and you're like, I wonder if I should equip this. You know, is it better than what I already have equipped? Again, I think I can type in here to filter it. Yeah, see, I was show me the boots. So I start typing boots and boom, it just limits it to that. Okay, let's see. Tech chat. He says you should also add a reason field under condition. So you can type things like just cuz. Yeah. Just pass a note to the player and say, just because I feel like it. Okay, so the other thing I can do is add life forms. So let's add a wraith. How about that? And we're gonna let's add 2 wraiths. No vocation on them. I mean, I can make it anything I want, but we're gonna do that. Wraith. Let's do level 5. Position. We're gonna do -30, 0, 0. And now this faction thing, the way I've made this is, it's kind of like Wizardry 8, how it has factions. I can create any number of factions and it can be created on the fly, and they kind of work together. So I'm going to call this the Undead faction. Undead crew, how about that? And I'm not going to put any hostile faction right now for them. So I'm going to do this. The game engine has queued the life forms. Where'd they go? I did minus. Oh, there they are. Okay. So we can see there's, relative to us, they're 20x position. So they're 20 feet away, and it says it right there. We can right click and see details on them too. Let's create another set of monsters. Let's let them fight. I'll turn them hostile against each other. So we'll make add life form. How about some spellcasters? Let's do alchemists. Let's do 5 alchemists. Let's make them elf. Let's make them level 10. So they're higher level than the wraiths, but wraiths are extremely dangerous. I'm going to put them at same X position, but I'm going to put them higher up on the mini map, -3. And Undead Crew is who they're going to hate. And we'll call these just alchemists. So since I'm making them hostile here, and I can comma separate if I want multiples, but I'm just going to do one here. You're going to see these get inserted, and then you're going to see all hell break loose. We'll watch the messages down here. Okay, so there they are. Alchemists. Alchemists calling for help. Now they're casting some kind of spell on them, doing acid and base damage. Alchemist just got level drained. You can hear the effect of the level drain. So now the alchemists are trying to cast acid arrow and they're failing. They're healing too. It's cast quick fix. I just saw a wraith die. Where's the? You can see the dead bodies here. One wraith. Some alchemists there. Oh, frost bow. So this alchemist has a frost bow. You can hear the cold damage effect. And then the wraith just grasped the alchemist. Did some level draining on him. So they're not going to be able to cast much. Or it'll be very ineffective because their levels have been drained so much. Alchemist is restored 10 physical health. So they, oh, there we go. So Alchemist 5 had cast Quick Fix on himself. But it looks like he's dead. They're all dead. One Wraith died. Yeah, and all the Alchemists are dead. So we were just, bystanders witnessing the computers doing all that. And of course, that was real time. You can go into combat mode where it becomes turn-based. But I did that just to show you how I'll be able to put monsters in and determine if I want them to go after certain players or if I want them to fight each other. All that kind of thing. Gabriel says, is a Wraith really a life form, though? Come on, give the Wraith Gravekeeper as a vocation at least. Dude, those glowing eyes, the average player will be too scared to play this game. Yeah. And yeah, but anyway, and hopefully that gives you the general feel. The other thing is, I'm making it where once you've been to a location, you'll be able to click this little footprint here and just go to it so that you don't have to manually maneuver to go there. Like, let's say I want to go to the blacksmith. Oh, and it looks like I changed something and got an error there. I'll have to figure out what that bug was about. It's probably a recent change. It'll probably do it on all of them. Oh no, so it's something with the blacksmith only. Here's the bank. Let's go in, enter the bank. So Bubba could open a bank account. 100 copper. Do I even have any money? I don't know if I even have any money. I don't think I do. Well, anyway, oh yeah, here's the bank teller. So I'm going to put different types of messages so that you'll be able to turn things on or off. Like if you want to see it, like here's discovery. Bubba hears life forms at this position. So if I uncheck that, then those messages go away. And I'll probably have like a check all or uncheck all. Let's see, anything condition oriented, danger messages, and I have to figure out these categories I'm going to have. Action stop, action success, failure, just general messages. That's something fairly recent. Let's see. Let's go to Sasha's Potion Factory. See if that's still working. Oh, I have to exit. Hold on. Exit. Okay, let's go to Sasha's Potion Factory. There we go. Yeah, the blacksmith died. Altercation between the race and the alchemist. You never know. No, the other thing I've done is I've really tried to protect you as a player so that you don't accidentally hurt someone that you shouldn't hurt. So you will only, like if you cast a fireball spell, let's say that explodes, and there's a bunch of friendly characters around that spot, they won't get hurt. It's only going to hurt hostile enemies that you have already attacked manually or that don't like you and are hostile to you. Because otherwise it could be a total disaster where you start accidentally killing a storekeeper or something like that. So I'm protecting you from that. You can see Dirk's already healed since the time I've been streaming 4 hit points, because I think he was down to 56. So he's regenerated some of his physical health over time. I think Bubba's got back some of his circulatory system too. Yeah, because he's at 99 out of 101. It was a lot lower than that. And like all your vitality and constitution affects those kinds of things. Okay, so anyway, let's go in here. Let me see if you can buy stuff. Dust of appearance. Wow, I've got tons of these. Dust of dryness, 9 copper. Intoxication powder is 65 copper. Itching powder. Potion of bear strength. And these prices are dynamically determined based on the types of spells or quality of the materials and all that stuff. So I don't have to manually set prices on everything. It's all calculated based on formulas. Here's a moderate healing potion. And these are the quantities, like what's actually in stock. That's why it's showing so many of them. Sneeze powder. Okay, yeah, let's get out of here. I really want to go to the blacksmith, but I don't know if it'll go. Will it go? Oh, I gotta get out of here again. Because the blacksmith, oh, it's going now. Okay, good. We'll have random items that are maybe magical or may have special abilities. Let's see if he has anything interesting. All right, yeah, he's got all kinds of stuff. So a steel bearded axe is 1291. A copper bill is 531. Boiled leather hauberk 94. Cloth pants 1. Here we go. Look at this. This is a funny one. So it's a plus 25 versus gorilla Bouchard made out of wrought iron. So that's 3,459 copper. So fairly expensive. But yeah, plus 25 versus gorillas. So that's pretty niche. How often are you going to run into gorillas? Let's see. Michael says, oh, friendly damage can be the worst. Good call. Yeah. I actually experienced it myself. That's why I decided to put that in there. Keith says, you sort of touched on it just now, but can you attack or otherwise derail NPCs? Yes. You can manually do it. It's not going to happen as collateral damage. So if you cast a spell that hits an area, it won't hurt them. But if you manually hit attack and then you select them, you can start attacking them and then they'll turn hostile. And then they will be affected by area stuff. Gabriel said, generally in MMOs, in order to kill NPCs, you have to very manually select and confirm you want to attack them. Yep. Michael says, are you going to have a musical soundtrack to this as well? I hope so. Garrison Panion has already made me some fantastic music. So I'm hoping he'll put some music in there. I found some free music that I'm using in certain areas. And I give credit, to the creators and everything. It's in my list in the credits. But yeah, I do hope to have some music. But I also want to make it where you can turn music off or even pick specific songs just to mute. Because maybe you don't like a certain song and you want to mute that. They call him Bubba the Gorilla Slayer, yeah. Let's see, what else we got? So here's a comma made out of copper. And there's something going on with some of my icons. You can see they're not showing up. There's a Dow. Let's see if there's anything else funny. Wrought iron maul. Hardened steel ranseur. You can see that's expensive. These icons were donated to me as well. So, a lot of these resources I'm getting from super wonderful people wanting to donate these, either music or help with talent or testing or whatever. Hey, Lost Sectors is here. Thank you so much for that. Is this Chris or is this Matt? That is very kind of you. We don't know who it is. Is it Chris? Is it Matt? Yeah. You guys know I've interviewed Chris and Matt from Lost Sectors, and they have a fantastic retro channel. I was just stopping in. It's Matt. Oh, okay. Thank you, Matt. I really appreciate that. I was just in their stream a couple days ago, maybe. Was that 2 days ago? But yeah, they've been streaming. Here, I'll show you the box. Nox Archaeist. So that's been a lot of fun watching them. I think they just streamed part 10. Wasn't it part 10 now? You guys are really ripping it up. I haven't even opened the box. I'm kind of tempted. I don't think I want to open the box. I mean, I do, but I want to keep it nice and pretty, and I might just play, downloaded version. It's always a curse. What do you guys do? Do you like to open the boxes, or do you like to keep them sealed? You're on part 10, yeah. You didn't open my box, but Chris opened his box carefully. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to, because I want to see what's in there. I should have ordered 2 copies. One that I don't open, and one that I take out and look at all the goodies. But that's a fun new retro game. But yeah, for anybody watching this later, highly recommend going over to the Lost Sectors. They do fantastic videos over there and occasional live streams. But yeah, thanks again, Matt. I really appreciate that. So anyway, here's the... Yeah, so that looks like that's the only funny thing we have, but there's going to be so many different types of items, it's going to be fun. And those will change over time. And since it's an MMO, like, let's say Gabriel's playing, he could come in and sell something to the shopkeeper, and it's going to show up for you. So he may sell some crazy cool item he found. And then inflation will also occur based on the types of resources. Kind of like how RuneScape does it, where the more quantity there is of a certain good, it will become cheaper because the supply's high. And then rare items, of course, will be more expensive, and there'll be a premium on those prices. So all that's going to be taken into effect in the MMO. Alright, what else we got here? Let's see, there's a go-to command. So if I click this now, it'll say go to coordinates. And it knows what I had clicked on, so then it'll just go directly to those coordinates. Here's Village Hall. So here's some of the music soundtrack where I found this free music. And I put this here for Village Hall just kind of as a test. Let's go ahead and parlay with the Village Hall Mayor. What's that Dirk do? Dirk speaks. Hello. Village Hall Mayor gives a trivial response. Okay, so the way I have the parlaying working right now is you don't have to type full sentences, because why? So you can type certain keywords. Let me mute this. You can type certain keywords, and if you know what it is for that particular NPC, they'll give a good response. Like, I'm going to type age here, and I don't know if he's going to tell me his age. He did. Okay, so he told me he was 45. If I type name, I think he'll tell me his name. Village Hall Mayor. That's my name. But I just try to keep it simple, so that it just shows what you typed, and then it shows what their response is. And if you type something that is nonsensical, it's just going to say it gives a trivial response. Because I always thought it was funny in games where they'll say something like, I don't quite understand you. Like if you type in ABCD, I don't quite understand you. It's like, of course you don't understand, because that was nonsense. So instead I just say, trivial response. You can insult. I'm going to see if I can insult this guy and get him mad at me. I'm going to say, you're ugly. Okay, let me just try ugly. So that's not evidently getting him mad. You are ugly. Scribe? What? I'm not sure what that's about. Oh, that's his vocation. Yeah, his vocation is scribe. So when I put you are, that's funny. You are ugly. I got to work on that text parsing. I thought I was doing a vocation. Okay, I know that there's a way to insult. I have all kinds of keywords. Um, Dumb. Let's see if that does anything. Maybe we can't insult him. Okay, I know Sasha can be insulted. Let's go insult her. Oh, there's that bug again. Figure out what that is. Sasha. I wonder if it has anything to do with those dead bodies. I bet it does. Because I'm kind of by the dead bodies here. Let me try to go south a little bit. See if we can go there now. Yeah, there's something with those bodies that there's a bug I got to work out with that. Michael says that music fits pretty well. Oh, thanks. You are the town ugly. No, I'm the town scribe. Okay, let's see if we can insult her. Let's go in. I'm gonna do either. Parlay. Ugly. Maybe you do have to say you are ugly. Look, yeah, Sasha is offended. Let me do it again. Because you basically have a reputation with people, and your charisma affects it. The whole party's charisma affects it. So like if you walk into a shop and you have an ogre, a wraith, and then the beautiful elf, they're still not going to like you because you got this ugly ogre and this wraith with you. It's frightening. So your reputation will be terrible. But if you split the party off and just take the elf in by himself with high charisma, then your reputation will be a lot better. But as you offend like this, it lowers your reputation and the person remembers. They'll remember you when you come back. So let me do it one more time. Let me see if I can offend her again. And then eventually she won't even speak with me. You are ugly. She's offended. Let's see if she'll speak with us again. Name? Will she say something? Yeah, she refuses to parlay with Dirk, so I've really offended her. Michael says, everyone knows you can't be insulted near dead bodies. Yeah, so now I wonder. So Bubba, I don't know if she'll talk with Bubba or not. I think it's the whole party, yeah. So the whole party now has been flagged as offensive, all because they were associated with each other. I don't know if she'll even attack me and turn hostile if I do it too much. I don't think she does. Still offended. And then you could, of course, cast spells to repair this relationship, but okay, yeah, she won't attack us. All right, let me show you some other things. So there's divine favor in this game. And this is like the wish spell in Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm going to have a gigantic list of things you can do with this. And it's very rare. It's very difficult to get divine favor, but you can. Especially if you do acts that are very virtuous, you can eventually get some. Humans, if you pick a human vocation or a race in the beginning, they get 2 divine favor because they're kind of at a disadvantage with a few other things compared to some of the other races. So they start with 2. Every other creature starts with 1. And once you use it, it's gone. It's like a wish spell. You can do all kinds of things, as you can see. Like if I want to repair an item for Bubba, I want to permanently increase strength, do that kind of junk. Just kill an enemy outright. Teleport to a known location. Teleport specific location. Increase your movement speed for a day. reveal all locations within 10 miles. So that's that list I was showing you where it shows you all the areas you can go to. If you do this, then that list is going to have all kinds of things in it. And then you could just say, just go to that. Provide food and drink for the party. Swap an item for another of similar value. So this one I thought would be kind of fun if, let's say you're a warrior and you get some kind of mage staff that you're not going to ever use, but it's worth, let's say, 20,000 copper. By doing this, what's going to happen is the game engine will find items that are about the same value, and I'm going to give you a list. It's not going to be all of them by any means, but it'll be maybe 10 to 20 items to pick from. And so you'll just be able to swap it and use your divine favor to do that and maybe find something more appropriate. Or, for example, here we could just get 10,000 copper just for the whole party. So like I said, divine favor is very rare and it's hard to get, but each character does start with one. Unless you're human, then you start with two. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Hey, Gauntlet, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Gabriel says, how dare they refuse to parlay with Bubba to destroy your face? Sasha attacks with a lightsaber. Yeah, let's go ahead and attack her. We might as well. Let's do a thrust. Well, he'll probably kill her outright. Let's have the Dirk attack. Swing. Oh, and you can also attack your own party if you want. Like, I'm going to have Dirk attack Bubba real quick just to show this. So you can see how it flashed red there. Oh, let me unmute. So he did a couple swings and then he stopped. But let me go ahead and attack Sasha. She'll probably yell for help. I just missed. Missed again. I wonder what level. Oh, and see how she's red now? The text is red. She's now hostile. That's how you can tell. Yeah, I didn't give Dirk much skill here, obviously. Let me see, what's his skill? Yeah, I gave him no skill. This is what knights start with. He can't hit her. Did she run away? I wonder, actually. Is she even in here? She might be outside the building. Let me see if I can exit. No, she is inside the building, but she's not showing up here. Well, let me go hit someone that I can actually hit. Is this Hal here? Sal, yeah, let's go attack Sal. Select Sal. Now what you'll notice is only one of my characters is going to move when I did this. The party is still centered here, the whole party. Oh, he's attacking me. He hit me for 8 damage. Did we kill him? Yeah, he's gone. So this is, you know, in some games it's called a blobber, where the whole party travels together, and that is true. These options are for the whole party, but during combat or combat type actions, characters can actually move away on the mini-map and go elsewhere, and then you can try to recall them back to the center of the party. Since I only commanded him by himself to do the target action, then he ran off on his own. Now what I'll do is if I try to move the whole party, they will wait until whoever is away from the center of the party comes back. So let me move to the left. See if it does it. I haven't done it for a while. Still have one hostile life form within the area. It must be Sasha. What's he doing? He's still trying to target. He won't stop his action. Let me see if I can stop it another way. Oh, I bet the game is generating items and stuff because I'm clicking on things and nothing's happening. Or I hit a breakpoint in my code. Look, I'm running in debug mode, so hit a breakpoint. I did. I hit a breakpoint. Okay. Let me run. There we go. Okay, let's get rid of that. Yeah, he killed her. That's the breakpoint it hurt. Hit. All right, so she returned back. Yeah, Dirk's back now because I tried to move. The other thing is, if you try to move the whole party and somebody's paralyzed, for example, or in a condition where they can't move, you won't move. So then what you'd have to do is split off and form a new party, and then you could leave the dead bodies behind if you wanted to, or the paralyzed person behind. Otherwise, you can do immediate actions individually, like I said, but you cannot move the whole party. So there's all kinds of things like that. Gabriel says, are you telling me a straight like Sasha would break bad? Not sure what you mean, Gabriel. Michael says it's a small village. See, he has worries about ape destroyers and the future of her children. Yeah. Oh, so anyway, when you attack certain enemies, or I don't even call them enemies, life forms, they will scream for help sometimes. And anyone in the same faction that's around may come to aid and try to help them. So like, I plan on having guards and stuff around in different areas. Well, let me go to the temple. The temple has guards or monks. Let's go there. And so you're going to have to be really careful. You can do whatever you want. You know, if you want to be malicious, like in Wasteland, and kill NPCs and stuff, you can do it, but it could be major consequences for it. And so there'll be guards and stuff to deal with it. Okay, let's just do this for now. Oh, looks like I have to do something. There we go. Is anybody in here? So Victor says, hello to you, fine adventures. How may I be of service? Attack. So you can see there's a bunch of priests in here, and there's some monks mixed in too, monks and priests. If I attack Victor, in theory, these guys are going to come after me. I can't hit him because his level's too high. They're all mad though, you can see. They turn red. Not really sure why they're not attacking me right now. I think it might be because I didn't actually hit them. But that's the other thing I need to do. I need to make it where if you sucker punch someone, you'll land the blow even if their level's high, you know? Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me add another caster to my party. So I'm going to log out here, because a caster should be able to hit him, I would think. Let's do a safe one. Alright, we're going to manage party. We're going to do a new party member. Let's do... Oh, this music here is actually music that Garrison made. Can you hear it, or is it too quiet? Turn it up. Okay. So let's make a wizard. Let's call him Michael. Great music. You like it all so far, Michael? Cool. Monks in meditation do not even notice you. Yeah, whale on him. Yeah. Because I haven't even hit a solid blow. Gabriel says, listen to that Fortaeverse OST sold as DLC on Steam. For a second, it sounded like the song When Gandalf Dies. Yeah. Well, let's do an elf. I'm gonna do a wizard, I think. Let's do a wizard picture, I think. Here we go. We'll just do this one.
Yes?
Conservative wizard, okay. Alright, and then let's just give him some intelligence. We'll max that out. Logic. Wisdom. Oh, I'm out of points. Okay. And then wizardry. Oratory. This. I'll do staff. Okay. Continue party. Alright, so here's Michael in our party now. Let's see if we can hit. Trying to get out of this menu. If there's a way for me to get out. Give confession. So cast. We have Flame Dart, Ice Staff, Shocking Grasp, and Sleep. Let's cast Sleep and Victory. He's out of range. That's totally not true. I think it has something to do with being inside the building. The way I've made this is basically I'm calling them dimensions. And so, like, you can go in caves, you can go in buildings, you can go in other areas. And it's basically like a new world. It's like being on a different map. And so, there's probably a bug I've introduced with that. Where it thinks I'm in a different map. Because it's saying he's out of range. I don't think, yeah, I can't move him. It's showing 0 feet, so we're right on top of him. Yeah, out of range. Well, dang it. Okay. Let me exit here then. I'll find somebody on the map to do it. Let's go. Yeah. Hey there, Sazdan. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Thank you. Yeah, that was free music I found online. Yeah, I really like it too. Okay, let's attack. I think there's somebody here. Yeah, the village mayor. So let's cast Flame Dart on him. There we go. Okay, is he gonna call for help? He may not need to. He's probably gonna kill me by himself. Level difference makes a huge difference in this game. In calculating, like, your chance to hit versus their dodge. Same with the spell effects and stuff. Buffers are dead. It affects resistance. Yeah, Michael just died too. I'm using the attack in dirt. For some reason, he doesn't want to attack Dirk. Yeah, see, here I tried to move the whole party, and it says party stops because Bubba and Michael are incapable of movement. So this is where I'd have to split off into a new party. Split from party. So now Dirk's by himself, and I can run and leave the dead bodies behind. Let me get out of that so the music goes away, so you guys can hear me. Yeah, I'm having all kinds of ambiance sounds behind the scenes and stuff, based on kind of the buildings you're around and that. Like I'm gonna watch. I'll get closer to the blacksmith. What is this? That's the bank, and you'll hear the banging of the hammers start to kind of fade in. So you hear it? And it'll get louder as you get closer to the center of the building. Like right now it's quieter out here. And then I'll go directly there. Now it'll be a lot louder. Oh, you just got done watching Smokey and the Bandit, says Tam? That's cool. Well, I have not seen that movie since I was a kid. Was it good? I really need to watch that again. Yeah. Okay, gosh, what else can I show you guys? So here was combat mode, where it has Garrison's cool music. I love this music. This reminds me so much of John Carpenter. You can see amount of time you're allotted before the next round begins to make decisions. And this is where it turns into phase-based. Like I can say, I want to attack this guy. Let's pick him, select. What's going to happen is his target effect is waiting. So if I had multiple characters, I'd go through and assign them all. But when I'm ready, I can click this to just say begin the next round. Round commencing. Did I even move? I don't think he moved. I'll do it again. Combat round 2 begins. Yeah, he's not even moving. It's making a move sound effect if you hear it. Listen. But he isn't actually moving, so I'll have to look at that. See, a lot of these things I'm showing you guys I haven't tested in a long time, and I've added so much to it. I'm sure I broke a few things. Keith says, oh, love it that sound increases as you draw near. Let me exit combat. There we go. Yeah, I'm glad you like that. I feel like it'll make it feel a lot more real, like a real world. The other thing is I can control how far the sounds propagate. Like that bell sound, I'm going to make go a lot farther because, of course, bells would do that. Michael says, I like the shadow person, spooky. And CST says, yeah, it's a great movie. Just came out on 4K. Oh, cool. Oh, the shadowy guy reminds you of the cover for the thing. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Never even thought of that. And then you can zoom in on this mini map. I already showed this. You know, you search and that increases your vision range. And then different races have greater spans of vision. Like, let me add, I think Hawkeyes have really good vision. Let's see how much bigger this box gets if I create a Hawkeye. Let's do a safe log out. Add him to the party real quick. Hawkeye dude. Then we'll do, doesn't really matter. Let's do craftsman. Synergy A. So they make good craftsmen. Let's do pompous.
I happen to be free to provide my highly sought-after talents.
Okay. Let's give him some agility. Yeah, we won't use the rest of the points just to make this faster. And then let's make him good at armor smithing. Let's give him some hammer weapons. Good enough. So now we'll say continue. Yeah, look how much bigger the box is now. Hawkeyes can see farther. Now if I do a search, it's going to get even bigger. Wow, look at that. That's gigantic visual range there. Oh, oh, I added them to the dead body party. Did you see that? So he's here. Okay, let me split him off in his own party. Get him out of here. There we go. Okay. And then the other thing we could do is we could rendezvous with the Dirk party. Let's do that. So we're going to merge this party. Whoa, where are you going? Did he reach him? Oh, he did reach him. Okay. Now we can join. How do we do that? Merge party. Confirm merge. There we go. So now we got Dirk and Hawkeye Dude together. Okay, so anyway, I was trying to show you the search and how big the box gets there. This big brown border you see here, orange, red, whatever it is, that's the border for the marketplace. The marketplace is... Uh-oh, somebody's attacking me. Who is it? Oh, the village hall mayor is thrusting his liquefying poignard that's made out of tin. He just killed Dirk. Oh, I think I know what's going on here. He's not attacking the last guy in the party. He attacks, so I'm probably off by one on the count. Because as soon as Dirk got somebody in here, he came down here and chased me down. That's what's happening. So I'm off by a count of one. Yeah, you know, my password is asterisk asterisk. Yeah, the bird guy with the voice. Stamina's drained a tiny bit there. Speed. Does he have any special abilities? Oh yeah, here we go. So this will show you too that resistances can have bad values. So Hawkeyes are vulnerable to blind. Minus 20%. But they're very focused, so they have 50% distraction resistance. I don't know if they have no special innate abilities. He has bronze ingots, copper ingots, silver ingots because he's a craftsman. Now the other thing is, if you pick weapon skills in the beginning, whichever weapon skill you pick highest, it'll give you a type of weapon that's appropriate to that. So like if you put your sword up real high, you're going to get a sword. You won't get something dumb like a mallet. I know I'm all over the place here, guys, just rambling, but... So if he tries to change vocation, it looks like he's qualified as a merchant or scientist without any negatives. change him to a merchant real quick. Okay. So now, did he pick up any skills? I think there'll be 0 maybe. Yeah, so here it's showing the new skills he has based on being a merchant. And they start at 0. Keeps all of his old ones. And I can't change vocation again until I level up. You can see that. Craftsman level is 1. Merchant level is 1. Yes, as time I am running Windows 8.1 on this desktop. Okay, Gabriel, well, thanks for dropping in. It's fun. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I figured I'd just give a status update. If anybody has any questions or you want to see something, let me know, because I've just been rambling and I feel like I've shown a lot of things. So his condition should show dead, yeah. Oh yeah, here it shows since he was human, he has that human divine favor bonus of 1. I wonder if I can actually use that. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to use my divine favor basically to resurrect Dirk. I think this works. Oh yeah, look. And here it's showing us that we've got damaged personality or damaged relationships with these people. So we could improve our personal relationship for the entire party with Sal or Victor Landon. Yeah, let me try to see if I can resurrect Dirk. Yep, there we go. Boom. Oh, and now he just gets attacked right away again from the village mayor. So he has wasted the divine favor. And now he won't have any more. Come in here. Menu options gone. Now I can use his because the Hawkeye dude still has one. So let me get away from the mayor. I'll have to split the party again. And now I don't know if that'll even show up as an option. Because it's technically a different party. Let me go way up here and make sure that the mayor's out of view. Yeah, it's a different party, so I can't use my resurrect on them. That's funny. So if I go there and try to use it, the mayor will just kill him again. Gauntlet says, is it difficult to balance so many attributes? It's hard to answer that, Gauntlet. In a word, yes. But I give special bonuses to all attributes. I make them all useful. Like intelligence can help when you're assaying hostility and make monsters make smart decisions instead of dumb decisions. So it would work great for fighters or warriors. So I try to give each attribute useful things, even if you're like you always think it would only be used for this, for example. Oh, thanks, Michael. How do you keep track of it all conceptually and programming wise, Gauntlet says? Well, since I'm the only one doing it, it's not hard. Oh, here's a wagon coming by. It's just an anonymous wagon coming by. Yeah, it's not hard for me because I work on it a lot. I had several months gap where I wasn't doing anything because of the new job I have, but now I'm back in the swing of things. Hey, Antonio, welcome to the stream. How you doing? So, gosh, I just don't know what else to show. What is this one? Oh, sleeping. So we're doing a voluntary sleep right now, which is different than a regular sleep. When you're voluntarily asleep, you can wake up at any time. Like I can just hit stop and you wake up. If you're really asleep because of spells, you can't do that. Or if you get knocked unconscious. So I showed the equip already. What is this? Oh, clear the messages down here. You can hide these. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but put that in there. This is mana. You hover over and it shows you the different types of systems. Mental health. Oh, yeah, for those that have joined later, let's do some condition type things. I have so many conditions. So party name. Oh, this is a different party now. I'm guessing this is probably called, well, this. Let's poison them again. Let's see if I got the right party name. No, that's not the right party. Okay, so what I can do is sign out. Log back in and see what his party name is. Oh, it's... I had merged. That's why it shows both now. Okay. Harold, Dirk, Hawkeye dude. Make sure it's the right one. There we go. He's poisoned. But yeah, when something's damaging or healing or anything like that happening, I liked how the Bard's Tale trilogy did it like this, where it kind of flashes on the characters so you can tell something's happening to get your attention. Because sometimes, you won't see it in the message area. That's what that is. This is a game I'm developing, Antonio. It's a massive multiplayer RPG called Fortaeverse. What kind of database am I using? Gauntlet says. Right now, I'm just using a pure Java database. It's called HSQL DB, but I can put it in anything. I could put it in SQL Server. I could put it in MySQL. Michael says, nice ambient wagon noises. I feel like I'm on the Oregon Trail. That's cool. Oh, glad you're doing fine, Antonio. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing great. Let's see. There's the old saloon. Oh, anyway, I was going to do more conditions. Let's do some more fights. That's always fun. Let's make zombie. Let's do 10 zombies. Let's make them warrior zombies. How about that? And then level. Let's just have them low level. And what position are we at right now? We're at 140. No, that's that position. Relative position. I don't know what my actual position is right now. I'm probably about 100 or 200 that way. Let's do minus 200 here. Zombies. Life form. Hawkeye dude sees 10 life forms at 100 minus 200. Wow, I was really close. Okay. So that's where all the zombies are. Now let's make something for him to fight. take a look at some races I've made. So what do you think will win? 1 vampire or 10 zombies? Let's make the vampire a mercenary. Mercenary, okay. Level 1. I think I did 100 minus 200, so let's do minus 240. Vampire versus zombies. Here we go. There we can see him appear on the mini-map. Zombies calling for help. Wait and see who attacks who. There goes one of the zombies moving up. They're so slow. We'll get to witness what they're doing. Those zombies are mauling that vampire. Oh, but the vampire is draining hit points. You see that? 32 damage is transferred to the vampire. Yeah, vampire is draining them. Oh yeah, vampire is totally annihilating those zombies. And he was thrusting his longsword, bronze longsword. The zombies had bronze longswords too, because I made them warriors versus mercenaries. Otherwise, if I put none for their vocation, they wouldn't have had any weapons. Yeah, those vampires, that draining ability is super strong. Cool. It defaulted to the mercenary picture because of the vocation instead of trying to find a vampire picture because I don't have one yet. Eventually I will. Michael says vampires are tough, but those numbers might be overwhelming. Yeah, I think the zombies would have won if the vampire didn't have the drain life ability where it heals itself when it hit. Fun. Let's attack it ourselves and get annihilated. And that'll probably be it. Oh, and here comes a wagon in the background right in the middle of our fight. Yeah, you know what's happening here? The monsters aren't seeing my last party member. I'm off by a count of 1. I just did crush damage to the abdomen of the vampire. Yeah, so they're like basically can't attack me. My guy's invulnerable right now. That's funny. Should see my stamina going down too. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. See, it's 145 right now. I think it's generating items for the shop. There we go. 143. So it looks like each swing is draining about 1 stamina for the Hawkite dude. Poor vampire. Check wagon straight to hell. Yeah, that's funny. Eventually, his stamina is going to get down to 0, and will be forced to fall unconscious. I want to see if it shows that. We should see an unconscious status in a second. Well, more than a second. A few minutes. Why did it stop at 118? It's interesting. I have something else going on there too. He's still not dead. I'm still trying to kill that vampire. Those crunch noises sound painful, Michael says. Yeah. I have so many sound effects for all kinds of special effects. It's cool. You know what I should do? Yeah, I know what I'm going to do. Let me stop this. If I make some high level life forms, it will generate some really cool equipment for them. Let's do barbarians. Well, let's just do one barbarian. Let's see, vocation, barbarian. Let's make him human. Let's do level like something ridiculous, 40. And then we'll do 100 minus 250. Barbarian. Okay, there he is. Oh, wow. He was hostile. No, he wasn't. The vampire killed me. Okay. So since I was the last life form in the whole array, that's why I was invulnerable. As soon as I added an extra life form, then the vampire could see me and attack me. Man, he killed me quickly. And as you can see, the party's adventure has come to an end. So now none of these options will work. We're basically dead. You could use Divine Favor on yourself. But watch what'll happen. I think he'll just kill me again. Yeah. What did he use on me? Oh, that was the draining effect, I think. You heard the breath escape, and I just died instantly. Wasted my Divine Favor. Antonio says, could you please explain what are the main features of your game, or what you would like to add in the future? I'm really curious about the creative process behind the projects. That's a lot to try to explain, Antonio. I basically wanted to make a game that was super complex, that people could play at their own pace. You could get into it as much as you want, either really, really granular or let the computer control a lot. And I wanted a massive multiplayer game where players didn't attack each other, but the world that they are in could be modified. And like, let's say Michael's playing and he sells something at a shop. When you go there and buy it, you could see what he sold there. So that kind of thing without having fighting players and that kind of stuff. And I wanted to make it kind of like more tabletop so that I can interact with the game and insert things as a dungeon master type. So those are goals. I wanted to make it where you play on mobile device if you wanted to just casually play. It's not going to have like lots of animation and stuff. It's more of like a cerebral type game with all kinds of statistics and strategies and things like that. And I will have a lot of art, but it's going to be just static graphics of, you know, monsters and that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good enough description, but if you check out my Fortaeverse playlist on my channel, I have all kinds of videos on there. Yeah, exactly, Michael. Dead, alive, dead, alive. Keep using your Divine Favor. And you can make rescue parties. You know, you could have a rescue party come out and resurrect the dead person if you had that spell ability, and then bring them with you. So you can rescue your own parties. I just have had so many influential games I've played over the years that I wanted to take all kinds of things I've learned from those and put them into one game. That's essentially it. Keith says the depth of what you've developed so far is impressive. Oh, thank you, Keith. Michael says, I like the interface and the art. Music and sound effects add to the atmosphere. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, and I just wanted it to be simpler, you know. Let the computer control things if you wanted to. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Antonio. Yeah, my pleasure. So yeah, that's probably about all I can show you guys. I can't think of anything else. You know, the game engine for doing all this stuff I've just showed you behind the scenes that runs on the server, it's like 80 to 90% done. There isn't much left that I need to do on that. So I'm getting to the point where I'm actually building the world itself and testing. And so, and then integrating art as I get it. You know, my mom's doing all the art for the static graphics and that. What else can I talk about? Lots of great volunteers that have done music, done icon graphics for me, voice acting, testing. So you guys that volunteer to do this kind of stuff helps tremendously. That Magnificent Meal has been donating tons of money for me so I can pay my mom to do graphics and give her, you know, she's retired, she doesn't have much money, so that helps her out. So it's just fantastic. You guys are all great with the comments and help and everything. So, well, anyway, guys, I guess that'll be it for tonight, unless anybody else has any more questions. You'll be able to have multiple parties. My ultimate goal, my ideal goal would be where I could work on this full time. But I do reviews, I stream, and I work on this game full time. If I could do that, you know, I could just do the gaming stuff all the time and we'd have a great community. But I'll have to charge for people to play this every month. I'm gonna have a free account, so people will be able to get a free account, but it'll have to be limited in some way so that I can encourage people. Maybe if you pay a couple bucks a month, you can have 2 parties, or maybe you can have 8 characters in your party instead of 6. You know, I don't know. I got to figure out some kind of rewards for that. But you know, if I could have enough people subscribing to play, or you know, as they're doing, giving the donations, then just hopefully I can keep working on this game. Maybe even eventually get to a point where I can have someone do real user interface, like some of the fancy games you see today. Because the user interface is just on top. You know, the game engine itself, that's the important part. That's the difficult part and the time-consuming part. We could always just wrap some really nice user interface on the top of it later. And I know they've done that with some other retro games too, so. Oh, my pleasure, guys. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, I gotta get Keith dialogue. He's volunteered to do voice acting. Yeah, exactly, Gauntlet. The amount of time I've invested in this has been a lot, so if I could do it, you know, 20 to 40 hours a week, yeah, it would be done much faster, and yeah, I could keep doing improvements on it. Yeah, exactly. Need the income. Yeah. Someday. Kickstarter crowdfunding, but I don't think there'd be enough people interested in it. it's, I mean, you know, yeah, my retro channel, I have 2,300 subscribers. So I'm just way too small. I think to have a chance like that, you'd have to have 1 million subscribers and they'd have to know about you and they would have to, you know, be interested in what you're doing. This game definitely will not be for everyone. I think it's going to be very niche. But anyway, it's fun. Oh, you're thinking about doing some voice acting too, Michael? That'd be awesome. Yeah, Ken Dannon, and welcome. Yeah, I'm unfortunately getting ready to sign off, but yeah, I'm working on a game. You go to my playlist, Fortaeverse, on my YouTube channel, you can see it. Yeah, exactly, Antonio. He says an interface, first of all, must be functional. Then you can change the appearance as you like. Yep. Exactly. Just have a cheat console. I do, Ken Dannon. That's what I was showing earlier. You can go back and watch this, but oh yeah, this guy's dead. I have this where I can add life forms on the fly and as be a dungeon master basically. Be able to interact with the players. It'll be fun. And Dan says, I'll do some voice acting for you if it blows up. Pay for me. If it blows up, pay me. Not sure what you mean, Ken Dannon. But yeah, if you want to do volunteer to do voice acting, that'd be fantastic. I could always use more of that. But yeah, you might want to go back and watch this, Ken Dan, and then you can see more. This was I was rambling. I went through all kinds of stuff, just demonstrating what I've got so far. So yeah, I'm gonna sign off now, guys. So thanks for the chat. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time.